How we doing today, guys? It's Sam here with LJ from G-Eye Jigs.
Hey, Sam.
We've got a lot of stuff in front of us here today that
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about. But let's start with you. How did this come about? When did you start doing this? What you do
Oh
here,
boy.
making
Well,
jigs?
the origins of this was when I was doing like tackle fishing, and I had my guide license and stuff like that. I basically fixed my problem because every time I was going down on my boat, I'd buy all these jig heads. They'd be triangle heads. They'd be whatever. The keeper tines would be all jacked up and it'd be ripping up my BKDs and stuff, and I'd have a file in my boat, and I'd rig them up and they didn't even look good, and it's just frustrating, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I found a guy up in New Jersey. He had a multi-million-dollar shop, and he made guys their fishing molds on the side, and it paid for his trip in every January to go to Cabo and go fishing. Okay, so that's what he did. That's how I got it going. Next thing I knew, I'm just making it for me and my friends. No intention whatsoever to sell any of these things. Had no intention of selling them. That was the least of my ideas. And so they would say, "Oh yeah, we need a 1.5, and we need a 3/4." And next thing you know, I just got all these different weights. So I started got my guide license, started taking people fishing. We used to have fish down on eBay out of Chesapeake Beach, real steady, and the fleet would go over there and they live line. So the first thing you do at 6 o'clock in the morning, they go catch their spot, run over to eBay, live line. So I had a lot of moms calling me up. They want to take their kids fishing. So I said, no problem. They said, what time you want to leave? And they, 9 o'clock, whatever. Ain't no big deal to me. So what we did was just got all the kids loaded up, ran over to eBay, passed right by the charter fleet over there catching their spot for the day, go over there. They would jig up their rockfish. Then they would be coming at me as I'm going back to the beach. I go right where they were catching spot. We drop bottom rigs down there with some bloodworms. We catch spot for the table, and that's all it was. And then Tyler's Tackle Shop Georgie said, "Hey man, you want to help me out this winter at the fishing shows?" And this happened to be the last year I ever did them, but I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'll tell you what, I'll let you sell some of them little jigs of yours at my table, and you just keep the money." I'd be like, how I'll pay you back, right? I said, "Sure, great way to promote a charter fishing business."
Yeah.
I couldn't make enough jig heads for each show, and it just kind of took over. So, some characteristics. What separates these jigs from other jigs? Well, they obviously, the jig is designed around the eye, okay? So that's the first concept with it. And they have eye sockets, and then the eyes are glued in. And then also, you see where you tie your line here, the hook eyelet is forward. And what that does is it gives you excellent action with your lure. It goes up and down very easily. And that's all because of the hook eye placement here. The other thing is I spec'd out this mating surface at the bottom. It's a flat mating surface. It fits extremely well with your Z-Mans, your BKDs, your finesse lures, all of it. Even your Bass Assassins, whether you're using a paddle tail or a straight fork tail. And then also, what distinguishes our baits from other people's baits is our curing process. I can't tell you how many thousands of jigs I've on my balcony down to concrete's 20 feet, and I would take different colors and different times and different temperatures, and that would be all I would do. Not even making product, and I'm painting stuff and then go down and pick up a bunch of them, look at them. Most times, sometimes they chip. I said, not good, change that, and then we do something different. And then we started to get it to where I started doing it, started tuning things in, it would dent, and it's soft lead, and it's a hard coat finish. It's about as hard as it can get. And so that's really how all this stuff got it going.
I got
it's just it was never any intention that I thought I was ever going to sell any of these things. Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely. So another thing to mention is the hook series.
A
lot of different size hooks and different jigs. What is your What's your idea there?
Okay, so personally, it's kind of straightforward. Your hook size depends on what size bait you're using. Okay. If you're using these XLs, going to want to go to our larger hook, the 7/0 or the 8/0 that you find in our 1.5 ounce. Okay, 6/0s work. Don't disregard those. They work, but you know, since we're getting fine, we're tuning in here. So, and then here's the 6/0, and now that's not an XL. It's just your standard 7-inch streak Z from Z-Man. But you can see how that sticks out good. And you know, rockfish, they like to have those large. You just want the larger hook for the rockfish. They just seem to hold better. This right here is a 5/0 in a Bustum Baits, and it sticks out just fine out of here. You know, so like I was saying, don't be shy. It's not specific, but if I'm using a 5-inch paddle tail, I would prefer to have the 5/0 hook. If I'm going down to a 3-inch paddle tail, I prefer to have the 3/0, 4/0 hook. You know, just, you know, like right here. Now that's a little bit large. That's a 5/0, but you know, here's a 6/0 in the. So they all match up well too. And I mean, see the profiles of these baiters just excellent. You know.
So G-Eye Jigs spawned out of jigging for rockfish, but I know you make a lot of other sizes. What are you going to be using some of these smaller profiles, smaller hooks, smaller jigs for?
Rockfish. I'm trying to mimic the. Obviously keeping the bait high in the water column. That's a 3/0 hook on a 3/8 ounce. I'm going to put a 3 3/4 inch streak Z on there, or a small paddle tail, and I'm going to cast it out. Either I'm going to jerk it like this, like you would do a regular bait, a jerk shad like this, or it gives you the other option of just reeling it in straight, so you can burn it in, or you can just slow roll it.
Yeah, absolutely. So these can also be used in some of your smaller presentations for other fish.
Yeah,
too.
and right now a lot of guys are buying the 3/8, the 3/16, and a 1/4 ounce. They're catching pickerel, they're catching white perch. They're up in the freshwater.
Oh yeah.
We sent lures out to Texas, North Carolina, New Jersey, and Florida this week. So the word's getting around, and they're starting to, you know, catch, you know, not only for freshwater, but sea trout and puppy drum and stuff like that. So yeah, they're starting to figure it out. And even now the guy in Texas, they have two. I know that area down there where this guy was from. A couple of guys that I speak to, a charter captain buys from me down there too. And they're fishing for landlocked striped bass down there. Okay. And they got the other option because they got the bays right there.
Yeah.
And they're catching puppy drum and sea trout also. This here's a striper sniper. I took this bait, so I trimmed down to 7-inch and put it on a smaller bait, and that way, you know, just kind of gives me a better profile here and all that stuff. So
it's November right now. What are you going to be doing out there on the bay?
November, rockfish right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rockfish, for sure. Right now, the thing of it is, one day they're on this pearl and white. The next thing you won't touch, nothing but green. You know, it's got to have green on it. Pink's not been too hot for me lately, but the green chartreuse, the hot chartreuse, all that stuff has been real good.
Awesome. Well, thank you for stopping by. It was great to learn a little bit more about your stuff you do here. Thank you, guys. So also, these are going to be on sale upcoming for Small Business Saturday. They're going to be 20% off them.
Wow. It's a good deal.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.